Lesson 43, simplifying rational expressions. A rational expression is undefined when the denominator equals 0. Well, first, what is a rational expression? A rational expression is basically a ratio where there is a variable in the denominator. So a rational expression is undefined when the denominator equals 0. So if we have a rational expression 2 plus x divided by 3x, we look at the denominator. We say, okay, 3x cannot equal 0. When we divide both sides by 3, we get x cannot equal 0. So this is the number that x cannot be, otherwise the fraction would be undefined. So here's another example. If we had 7x plus 1 divided by x minus 7, we have to say the denominator cannot equal 0. When we add both 7 to both sides, then we can see that x cannot equal 7. We can plug it back in and see, sure enough, 7 minus 7 equals 0. So x cannot be 7. If we had 2x plus 1 in parentheses times x minus 1 in parentheses divided by 5x minus 15, again, we look at the denominator. 5x minus 15 cannot equal 0. We're going to add 15 to both sides and get 5x cannot equal 15. Divide by 5, x cannot equal 3. And that's the restriction on that fraction. So we want to look at the denominator and figure out what value or values makes it equal to 0. So that's determining the undefined values. So that's the first step in simplifying rational expressions. So to look at denominator and figure out what values make it equal to 0. Then these are the undefined values. So put these, those, these are the undefined values. Okay, so we're going to find those first. Then second step is we're going to find the greatest common factor of the numerator and denominator. And then we're going to factor and finish simplifying. Now when we finish simplifying, we must write down what the restrictions were. So let's say, here's our example. We have 8x squared minus 4x divided by 12x squared plus 8x. So we look at our denominator first and we say, what are the restrictions? Well, we can say 12x squared plus 8x cannot equal 0. So if we factor out a 4x, we're left with 3x plus 2. That cannot equal 0. So x cannot be 0 and, well, let's see, 4x cannot be 0 and 3x plus 2 cannot equal 0. That's the zero product property. If one equals 0, the whole thing is 0. Neither of these can be 0 because we do not want 0 in the denominator. So divide by 4, x cannot be 0. Subtract 2, so 3x cannot equal negative 2, and then divide by 3. So x cannot be negative 2/3. So here's our two restrictions. Then we're going to factor the numerator. We can factor out 4x, and we get 2x minus 1. And the denominator, we factored it over here. We got 4x, 3x plus 2. We can cancel. So our solution is 2x minus 1 divided by 3x plus 2, where x cannot equal 0 or negative 2/3. And you can just put a comma and then list the negative 2/3. And that's the end of the lesson.